Like I'm telling you, I grew up that I'm not a songwriter.
Yeah.
There's a point where I can actually see. I sit down, I even alter the lyrics. Ke rap ha kutor wa reng, ha ke cancel mo gongwe. Ha ngwa ke feel are motho re rapa ma go kwale mantsi
At the same time.
Tsantelengane o le ka go twist up so flow ya tswa mo tseleng, o lose a breath because they're trying to say a lot of things within a short frame of time. Hey, I even do that. I even go to that point.
Mara go padile tota go padile.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this is for you, fam. I don't know.
Like, is the other people you have actually said that to?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, City right now. The gang gon' get it right now. I'm the man in Gap City right now. So you can't do what I done. So tell me what it is right now.
Hey, Shapo, dintshang. My name is Isaac Brandon. Welcome back to another episode of the Isaac Brandon podcast. Ladies and gentlemen. Actually, before I introduce my guest today, I have a co-host with me, guys. Like the last episode we did, I didn't get to introduce him properly. My co-host Vivi, please introduce yourself in much better terms.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Vivi Gallowman,
Yes, sir.
aka that boy Papito
Yes,
on
sir.
the gram. Yeah, let's get it.
Much shaky.
Look at that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, actually, dog, my intro for you, I wrote it down somewhere. Ne? So again, I'm gonna recite it. Ne? I can still introduce and you know what I mean? Like, Marging, this is literally straight from my heart. I can't pop a hope.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, my guest on today's show is somebody I respect very much. In my perception, he's the middle child of all producers in the game. This guy has mastered magic with a good number of great figures in this music industry. Oh my God. And he's also known for producing the most memorable songs in Botswana hip-hop. Above everything else, this man prides himself in being the hardest working in the game. He recently got nominated for the Best Producer at the Bomu Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than Fella the Beat.
Let's go.
What's good? How was the intro?
No.
I tried.
It's too much.
Too much.
It's too much. That's too much.
What's good, my dog?
I'm alright, my guy. How are you?
I'm chilling. How you feeling?
Good, bro.
How's
I'm
life?
chilling, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm here. Let's rock, bro.
Let's rock, my G.
Let's chop it up.
Dog. Like, I want to talk about like your upbringing firstly.
Yeah.
Like upbringing, you growing up. I want to understand like that part of your life. How did you grow up? And on top of that, like your upbringing, how did it influence the type of person you became? You know, hence we see who you are now.
Yeah. In upbringing, my guy, you know, I feel like this new generation of youngsters. I'm not saying Botswana or anything, but I feel like this, not to be insensitive or anything, this new age depression kids, my guy. You understand what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah.
Well, I grew up in PY, ne?
For sure.
I grew up in PY. I scored all my 12 years of basic education in that. Yeah. Well, I went to Palape Central School.
Dope.
And then I went to Palape Community Junior Secondary School, PSS. And then I went to Lotsani. Okay.
Like still in Palape, all those
Still in
schools
Palape. Still in Palape. I actually got that transfer. I think I was doing between standard 3 and 4.
For sure.
Yeah, I was on Muchudi and then back to Palape.
Dope.
Yeah. So, I grew up in a family of 3 siblings.
Sure.
And then Nakulwabo 4. And I grew up with my mother and my grandmother. I ran time at some point, and he passed on when I was doing I think standard 4. My biological dad passed on, and then we moved my grandmother with my mother. Okay, so it was me, my mother, my grandmother, my sister, my younger brother, my mom's two sisters, and then yung mga Tokahala on the way. So I grew up in a very tough environment, my guy.
Sgoti as in like more about beating sport.
Straight, 110% to this day. Good thing is good.
Damn.
So ska wana dishiti nyana gas.
Shit.
3-star. In your
All
gut.
the way. What I was
Yeah, but for real, it's good though.
Yeah. And then like how did like that's growing up like in that kind of like environment influence like you becoming a producer and you
Actually, I'm not sure if that environment influenced the person I am today and what I do, to be honest, because there was nothing musical about it to start with. No le rowdy hela go na go le modumo mo tlatleng wa bona go na go loa go re le maragaraga hela I think music came about around form 2 form 3 because of church. We are Catholics go tlatleng.
So like even now do you still go to church though?
Yeah.
Dope.
So it was because of church. The feeling of seeing joy in people's faces when they see music, the healing it brought to them. So for me, the interest started from there. Just singing Mogiriging. I was on the church choir, and then as I was growing, the interest into just music in general, not just choir and stuff. So even like music production, like how the song is conceptualized, how the song is built, how beats are made, how vocals are captured.
So you didn't go to school for any of that? You just learned from just like the background there? Like
self-taught, my guy.
Wow.
Never went to school for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
When was the point where you decided, I'm going to sit down and actually start plotting these beats, and actually start, taking this shit seriously and seeing what could...
2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I was still in my primary at that time.
You were?
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I was.
2008.
Yeah.
It was the time when you finish your Form 5 and you're waiting to go on to university. That was that gap for me.
Yeah.
2008.
I was farm. I didn't even know I was gonna be me.
So that's when I was staying with my uncle for phase 2. Yeah, Uncle's Bat, Uncle Lukoko. Shout out. So there was a desktop that was just lying around. And for some weird reason, I found Fruit Loops in there. I don't know who had installed it in there. But again, like a super PC, and then I'd open this one program, and then
God bless the soul to this date.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So I'd make noise, because he was a lecturer at Basco, so he would about so and fast forward as years goes by, like guys like Rimzi and stuff. I don't know if you guys know Rimzi.
Yeah.
The guy who used to produce ATI, was Skeleton, a dog, yeah.
I'm lost as a motherfucker.
Hey, so
my boys used to record
Rimzi,
yeah.
As I'm also more music, especially as a producer, you meet different people. Music and Copa just some tips and tricks here and there. But from there, I became a YouTube child. Yeah, I learned everything from YouTube.
So like which year was this? When this so when the YouTube tutorial like about 2016. Like which year was this? No YouTube videos.
Okay, yeah, I think 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Because between 2008 and 2016, 2015, I was basically making beats only. I was doing beats only. Next, I'd see anything to do with vocals. I started vocals around 2017. That's when Jan Wixi went like a level at YouTube, how to set up a mic, how to record proper, how to mix, basic mixing. So that everything it sounds okay.
For sure.
Do you still remember the first channel you felt like this is the channel that's teaching me a whole lot? Like the first YouTube channel you constantly visited?
Not really. Mona, I was like I was watching a whole lot of different guys and producers. Because the
Yeah.
producer that I know really influenced my production was Ryan Leslie. Unfortunately, and he plays every instrument you can think of. So the instrument. So for me, that was fascinating for me. But now we're another software guy, you know.
Hey,
wonderful.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, that's dope. And so now you're doing all this, you know, like making all these beats now, and then you know you're still working hard. I presume the hardest working has been an ethic you've been pushing even from, you know, like
the hardest working. This comes from back in the day. Growing up, Musgela, I wasn't a gifted student. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The type of student you don't work study. What about Samudu? Then when exam is done, I was 60% or 70%. I wasn't that type of student. Me, I was the guy who works hard. You're trying to figure out like a bar, and at some point, I like a crema highly see. No, make it true, but make it true, but that hard work, it's all Hakala in Spanish.
Straight.
So that came from back in the day. I've always been, you know, someone who works hard to make something happen. Sure. So hardest working also at a hard music.
So then now we're, you know, progressing in the career. Obviously, I agree, you're practicing this for years. So like, what's that? Describe for me that one time you realized Ndara, I'm in the music industry for real. Like, describe it and like how, and like what did it take for you to actually get there? Two questions in one.
I would say I was staying at Palap at some point, after all these things. So now what I would do is I would send beats to Rimzi and everything because he was the guy at that time. You know, everyone was recording with him. So he would say, send that beat and see what happens and everything. So I remember at some point I made this joint. It's called Oh Lord, featuring Ego. That song, dog, it was playing like crazy. I think at some point it got to go number 4 on top 40 on RB2 or something like that.
Damn,
and I was staying as far as Palape. Like, for me, that was like, so
I have that much.
This can really happen. So that was that one song for me. And for a long time, a lot of people, at some point, people felt like I couldn't do any other better song than it.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So I think that was one.
It raised the bar for you, kind of.
Yeah. And then I think for me personally, I'm doing this thing for real. It started, I think, around 4 or 5 years ago. And that's when I was like, okay. When I was starting to do things my way. My own setup, recording, making beats, doing everything by myself. It's no longer you do beats and then you send them over to different people. Yeah. So I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago. Starting to meet people like Bo William or Bo Ozzy. You understand what I'm saying? But now I could see, okay, so they're actually like good, amazing artists, they're actually willing to work with me. Or I'm doing something
solid,
right? Yeah. So 4 or 5 years ago, around about 2018.
Yeah, and I think I remember that point. And then, like, and what did it actually take? Like, in terms of financially, first of all, emotionally, and like discipline-wise, like, what did it take for you to actually reach that point?
Yeah. When it comes to discipline, I can never struggle with that.
Yeah.
I can never struggle with that. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I'm not saying people discipline. I'm not saying that, okay? All I'm saying is that I can never struggle with discipline. That has always been my one strong. I think excelling in what I do because of the discipline. So that part, it has always been there.
For sure.
And then in terms of Zaka Chief, no. I don't want to lie to you, Chief. Everything that I have in terms of equipment, studio, I built that from ground up self. I remember I started building my desktop to get me a laptop or anything. So I started by
Right.
So I remember ke reka computer ka piece ka PCPs, like literally CPU where ka le nosi. I get it ka mouse and keyboard. And then after 2 months, ngana sona go gotetsa zaka allowance ngana 1.2 by then. Ke gona ta bo ngereka like monitor nyana, and then I keep it there. So I started off ke dira ya. Even the studio monitors by the time ke direka initially just to save. Save zaka hela. So there was no handouts, chief. There was no shortcuts. No, it's now who was there to willing to help win.
Mama nasa go twist.
Well, now to sabat grabare only nasa span.
Oh,
You understand what I'm saying? So she couldn't afford some of these things. Once somebody can 5,000 just to get your child studio. That's just crazy. Especially in Botswana. Yeah. So everything I have, chief, financially wise, I got it myself. And also I think personally that instilled the sense of discipline in terms of saving Zaka. I've been saving Zaka ever since, chief.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been saving Zaka. And then in terms of emotional wise, this is something that I've always wanted to do from a very young age. So for me, this was something sailing where, it made me happy. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm able to express myself through music, through production, and it makes me happy. So it didn't really take me that much when it comes to emotional aspect of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because this is a creative entrepreneurs platform, we're moving on now to the money making side.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think beat making, producing, sound engineering is a sustainable career in Botswana?
Well, I don't know. I think it depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. The producers by Longore, they just make beats to list them on internet. If that's something that you want to do, I don't know how much money it makes, to be honest with that. But one thing I can tell you is that you're not gonna make money overnight with this thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to love it first. You're gonna have to do it because you love it. Later thought. That's why we see even artists producer. That's why we see people the artistic today. That are nowhere to be found. With corporate places and going on blind. So money is gonna come, but it's not gonna come as soon as you think. It's gonna take some time. Yeah.
And is it sustainable for you at this point?
Yes. Right now, I'm doing production.
Yeah.
Production. Hell, and I'm doing a whole lot of things, not just the Pina. Yeah. People think, because you're always posting clips all over studio and that's all you do. There are other things outside songs that you can do more production.
Like
I'm doing jingles every day. I'm doing voiceovers every day. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, you should make me a radio jingle. I need a radio jingle.
Let's go.
How much should you charge me for that?
Rtabu. Not sure. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Very financial. So yeah, jingles, voiceover. I'm doing a whole lot of the sound in terms of like the scoring for a lot of guys. Baba Spana more filming and videography. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's more like that.
All those niggas pay, dog. They pay you over how code,
100%. I get Spana also without deposit. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Why do people get offended when you ask for a deposit? How a service sound? Like, I feel like it's something that rubs people like the wrong way. Like,
now if you get offended, I go send a code. Then how
am I get
because for me this is like serious business.
For sure.
So I'm not gonna say you cook to one now offended. If you're not offended, it's cool. Next.
Okay. So moving on, my dog. Like the current business model. Okay, like for somebody that is maybe like a mere music consumer. But doesn't know the current business model, between artists and like producers. Please explain that for them and tell us if it's currently working for you.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, to be honest, the business model between a producer and artist, it's not something easy to understand. Even I'm learning it every day. I'm talking about things like publishing. I'm talking about things like royalties, displays and everything. I'm talking about distribution of music and stuff like that. I'm talking about situations whereby you made a hit song, for example, for William. Ne, his big is making money with it, and then Kausani, DSTV, there's an example. Abe babata advert ka pina teng. Wa tlhaloganya. Go na le business go. Wa tlhaloganya. I'm talking about ownership of music. It's a complex process that a lot of people think, okay, kipinaga semama entsehela. There's just a lot of things saying what is going on behind that, saying what it involves the producer and the artist. There's ownership of the producer, there's ownership of the artist. So it's something saying what it's complex, saying what even if we talk about it, but
like in a nutshell.
Basically, it depends what the agreement with the artist as a producer is. Okay? What I can tell you right now is that as a producer, all this music that I've produced for artists, that is out. That is playing on TV, that is playing on radio, that is playing on your YouTube, your Facebook, everywhere. I own that music as a producer. What you pay for, how's an studio Ontario fella? Give a beat. How much do you charge for a beat? You charge a beat. You select the beat you want. You go, you write, you come back. You charge a certain amount per hour for recording. You charge a certain amount for mixing. You charge a certain amount for mastering. That total amount, basically, what you are paying for is labor. A fella actually sat down. He made this.
Made a beat, recorded,
he mixed, he mastered. What you are paying for at that point, labor. Okay, that money ki labor basically.
It's labor, it's not ownership.
Labor so far.
So far. Okay. And then from there, all I do is about distribution.
Okay.
Labor royalty. Okay. Agreement there on depending where it's a mayang. I think the thing is that the reason why people don't understand that is because they don't understand what they're getting themselves into. People don't necessarily sit down and have conversations.
Lead into things or whatever the case.
So it depends from there. Or okay, now how much are we going to split in terms of the royalty when they get paid out? How much are you going to republish this thing as a producer? So now what's the details about like how is our agreement?
The percentage and so forth.
But hella like I'm saying, it's a complex situation. Like I'm saying, I'm still learning today. But you understand what I'm saying. And that's one thing, because there's a difference between running a music studio and running a record label. What I'm doing, personally, I'm running a music studio. I don't run a record label. One artist that is signed to
you.
Situation no, William, Ozzy, Ska, Touch, HT, Samba. We have written documents. You guys are my artists. So what we are going to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As the artist, I'm a manager. I'm doing all these things for you. It's different. Now I work with everyone who comes to studio Rio Fell. Now I want to work. And then
how when I filter.
I work with whoever. So basically, I think what I'm basically saying is that next span like volume. You understand? The more people who come to the podcast studio, the more money I make.
You make.
May I ask a question?
Yeah. Sure.
I understand the part where you're saying, if you're paying for a beat, you pay for recording, mixing and mastering. That's the labor part, right?
Yeah.
So how I translate it is the producer has ownership of the masters, right? So who determines the percentages of royalties? Is it the owner of the masters, or it's going to be democratic in the sense that you're going to come together and talk about it?
Yeah.
Who has more power there?
Well, okay. here's the thing about this thing called masters. Okay?
Yeah.
How if you are running a music studio like me, there is no such thing as masters.
Masters, yeah.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
I'm not a record label.
Nice clarity,
You
yes.
understand? I'm not a record label. The master it's big companies like Universal, blah blah blah. If you are that artist,
Yeah.
that's
People that
when-
actually put money into you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay, yeah.
That's when you can buy yourself out of yo.
Yeah.
But the
But the
master
masters,
that's
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, a producer like me who runs a studio, it's like a runner. There's no such thing as the master. So each year it's about decisions about publishing and royalties and stuff like that. So we have publishing agents.
Yeah.
We can negotiate.
Yeah.
But okay, no,
Fine.
fell out
Tajabuka.
You understand?
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Well,
masters,
like I'm saying,
is when you're bonded
Yeah.
to that particular company, label, or whatever.
But like I'm saying, different producers they are hard. I've heard the producers in around him where a certain producer or even the Zaga some certain percentage from Zaga you did get gigs.
Wow.
For
Like
real.
I'm saying, but like I'm saying, it depends on agreement that have with the
Agreement
producer.
that between
Yeah.
right. And then like still on like terms terms and conditions and agreements and all that.
Yeah.
How much hata go yana areka beat mo go fela. Like let's say ke mo rapa ke like video fela ke batla beat da. What are the terms and conditions of that beat? You know, do you follow up as to for a beat we did yang, go push your principles yang and so forth and like or nela mo to beat even na yo man run with it and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
I'm at a point where I don't just just sell beats like that. Yeah. Because you never know. Because at the same time, I'm protecting reputation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to I don't want the situation say long like I'll stand up and tell her, mo Facebook, beat produce to get fair, beat produce to get fair, like I don't want that kind of drama. So fortunately for me, I meet Batubala or they take my work seriously. Okay.
No funny business. Yeah.
Like I'm saying, it's very fortunate that people trust me with everything in terms of even beyond beats like recording, mixing, mastering. So 98% of the times is that 2-3 days later they're ready to record and they're going to record at me.
Okay.
Studio and sound. So I never have issues like that, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Are there ever places where you sign? When let's say, I got just like any other services rendered. Obviously, there's written contracts and stuff like that. Now, like in my business, I have where I make my customers sign. I get to be it videos, be it whatever. Under normal circumstances, like I have where I make my customers sign and make sure that they put proper detail as to what they expect from me and what I expect from them.
Yeah.
Is there something of that sort in your business?
Yes, I do that, but not all the time. One thing I realized about the artist, is that what's somebody vampire? I'm afraid of documents. Dog, I've tried this before. Just like a simple contract thing,
It's for 4 stands. The 4 stands that live for
for no. How to be I expect for under this time, blah 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 blah. I tried that. We thought there was no business at some point because of that. Because my was somebody document. But yes, I do that. But I do that with with the corporates.
Cool.
With the corporates, but while I work, it's all about they understand.
I understand like the language and like how important it is. Yeah. And like speaking of which, dog, like for people like working with people like Ozzy, dog, because like I heard you talk about like the reputation and so forth, Ozzy's a wild
Yeah.
nigga. We all know that.
100%.
He's a wild nigga. He says some wild shit.
Yeah.
He even produced unapologetic. Like he even produced, one of the most controversial songs in Botswana hip hop, dog. Nigga, this the fucking government.
Who produced that song?
Didn't you produce that song?
It was Fella.
It was him, bro.
Did that in
That's
a way?
news to me.
Did that in a way threaten your rap, though?
Right?
Did that in a way threaten your rap?
Reputation.
Who?
Yeah, nah.
Who produced that song?
I also produced it.
It's not true. It's not. Wait,
Miriam.
We produced it.
Why did I produce that song? How do you know?
wait, there was no credit to the producer.
There was no credit. Me get it to fella. Me get it to fella.
How do you know?
My nigga, I know fella's beats, dog. I know fella's beats.
Like all along, I also agree. I agree with you at the fact that it's Fella. You know what I mean?
With the fella, ha guy.
But man, you know, man. When you know, you know. When you know, you know.
It's not a secret.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Okay, let's say it wasn't Fella, right?
Okay,
but
no.
if Fella produced such a song,
Yeah.
would it wound Fella's rap? Or would it be a risk that he would be willing to take?
Wound fella's reputation now.
In terms of, it's a song that's very controversial. It raised a lot of eyebrows.
Sometimes music,
customer, kind of things like that. Let's say when he does.
Well, here's my argument with that. Okay, here's my argument with that. One, fella is a music producer.
Yeah,
he's not a songwriter. He doesn't have control on what artists choose
to say
or how they choose to express themselves in music.
It goes back to do you have terms and conditions? Do you have like a way how do you sell your beats? Do you look at how your beats are going to be used? You see that?
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Now I look at talent. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I look at talent. How you rate Kana? Okay, let's say I give you a beat. Okay.
Yeah.
What I want Ontario fella, I want to buy a beat from you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's say you are someone I don't know. I haven't heard you. Like I have no idea how you sound. Okay.
Yeah.
How you go rap young, basically. You get the beat. You go. You come back outside. You're trying to record, but how it is? You miss a session, chief. Your money back. I'm getting back my beat. Now I've had situations whereby. And you boost the artist like countless times. Because sometimes you how boost artist how miss a session without explaining what the issue is. As a producer, I'll be failing you. So I'll tell you what the problem is. My guy, concept there with this beat haditha my land. 1, 2, how flow how on a cadence what all these things. All the components that you need to make a proper song. I do that. So boost 3 or 4 times.
Are you ever willing to actually sit down with them in the studio and help them and actually help them with that?
My guy, I do all that. Like I'm telling you, I'm not a songwriter. There's a point where I can actually say, I sit down, I even alter the lyrics.
At the same time.
Twist up so flow we lose our breath because they're trying to say a lot of things within a short frame of time. Hey, I even do that. I even go to that point. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is for you, fam. I don't know.
Like, is the other people you have actually said that to?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, dog.
Like, imagine fella telling you, oh, man, I don't
but
think
that would
this.
be understandable, right? Like,
No,
if
but
he
the
takes
thing
some
is-
time to actually try and help you with that craft, and it still goes sideways.
Sometimes you need to say that to people so that you save.
Yeah,
for
for
them.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Otherwise, wa go thola o ta go nna re wa record
Nna ke go jala ma idea.
nna ke go charge studio time ke go charge studio time ke go charge studio
O
time
popa ngwana.
so sometimes it's not like you are being brutal but you're actually saving
Nah, for sure.
people's
Nah,
money
real
and
talk.
time.
No, like I'm not saying it from a brutal, like we go from a brutal point of view, but imagine like you look up to somebody like Fella, you know, you've always wanted to be in studio with him, and he says, "Hey man, like, I don't think like there's a future." That fucking probably hurts 10 times. Dog. Like,
There are
like,
two types of people in the world.
for sure.
There's one who is told you can't do it, and then they believe it and not even try to get better or work on that craft. And there's one person who's gonna look up to Fella, and Fella's gonna be like, "This ain't it, bro. You're not for this." And that person is gonna say, "Fella, I still look up to you, and I'm gonna show you I also deserve that shot." And they will work on that craft. You know what I mean? When they come back, Fella's gonna be like, "Motherfucker, you ain't the nigga."
And I'm telling you, I've met guys like
you know
that.
what I mean?
Wow.
I still rock with guys by Longor at some point. I was like,
Like they refuse to quit.
hey,
Like they refuse to take that.
and they got better, chief.
Wow.
Man, there was this kid dog. We sorry. Hi, my mom miking. What he'd call me the night before. I'm like, yo, fella, come so dog. I'm going to fuck it up. I'm telling you, dog. This is it. Then Hats and I'm miking. Waroma. He can't even say one word, dog. But right now, I'm talking about an artist. He has an album with me dropping this December.
Wow.
Because it's that good.
Crazy. Crazy.
So there are people buying what that like that. And then there are obviously that buying what by emotional, what how Mariah will feel like you're being unreasonable about
Yeah. All right. Still on that note, what's the best advice you could give to, maybe 16-year-old guy, 17-year-old guy that looks up to Fella as an artist, as a producer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, one, you're gonna have to be patient. The problem with guys is that they don't want to be patient. I get Deanbox, yo, help me blow up. Wow. Dog. I'm like, fam, I don't even know how to do that for myself.
You're brilliant.
How?
Put me on, dog.
What is that? You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, one, people want to cut corners.
Shortcuts.
Yes. How about the to grind? How about the patience?
Yeah.
Because patience, with patience, you are going to learn even beyond what you are supposed to learn. Because you are patient.
True.
One. You are sitting down, you are consuming all this information, to get better. That's one.
Yeah.
Two,
They be a learning experience. Like patient, the more it builds a lot. Yeah.
and then two, consistency. Yeah. So basically, you have to love this thing for you to do it.
Yeah, and be
otherwise,
consistent at it,
you're not gonna go anywhere. It should start really as a passion because, I think a lot of kids buying box water production is because they don't necessarily like it, but buying it to see what I do because they see it, me doing it. But is the passion really there? Kana, you want to do this because you see someone doing it. And in addition to that, do you have an idea how long it took for this guy to do what he's doing right now? That seems so effortless now. So the beauty of what you see phoning at this particular point, you need to do this, but
you don't know
there's a lot of information you are missing in there.
A lot
of stuff. Sleepless nights of practicing and everything.
But would you say the key essence or essential within, pushing something like that and being patient with it is having a strong why, backing it up?
A strong what?
A strong why, a strong reason, a strong purpose,
reason.
driving it forward.
Thank you.
Yes, you should have a reason why you're doing it. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And do you feel like a lot of artists, Botswana, they have strong whys to why they want to do certain things? Just looking at, how they're working around it and all of that.
Like, do you think they're doing it for like the proper cause, or like the cause you would want an artist to be doing it for?
Ish, that's a tricky question, huh? That's a tricky question. Like, for example, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I have this other close brother of mine. Okay? Close brother of mine. The thing is, here's the thing. You can have an amazing talent. An amazing talent.
Yeah.
It's effortless for you to make a hit song. But why are you doing it? What are you hoping to achieve? with this?
Yeah.
Waban. So that part, usually, if you get this amazing talent that you have, or okay, no, you have this talent, you can make this type of song, and then we're so and then you are the biggest artist.
Yeah.
But from there, what now?
True.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why this question is tricky.
Yeah, I get
I feel you.
The talent that a lot of artists have in BW, this is why music business in this country, it's still the talent is there. It's too much, but the business isn't that good. Also, it's because people don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Like from like the guys at the top,
Yeah.
right to the middle, like the guys that actually make the art and like the consumers.
100%.
For sure.
We don't understand why we are doing this.
For sure.
Like now, dog, I always argue with a lot of the artists. Even like the big brother Razaro and everyone. Like I'd ask, like, why are we doing this project? For
sure.
Project King Robert Takudira, this EP. Why?
Yeah.
What are you trying to achieve?
Are you trying to
Kana,
change it?
we're just going to record this project. And I'm not going to do a project like that.
For sure.
We should have a reason why we are doing it. Because the next thing about the project, relaxa. How should do the video? People don't turn up for interviews. How it's gonna go to show people don't even perform. Like, why are we doing this music?
True.
Learn how to benefit as the owner of
the music. Yeah.
As the owner of the music. So a lot of people don't know why they're doing it.
True.
Right. Okay.
As a follow-up from the first question you were asked about your upbringing and how it influenced, you said something interesting about how going to church, and then you saw how people were singing, how the music made people feel. I would say that's kind of like the origin story for your why.
100%.
Like, were you trying to evoke such emotions and such impact through your music when you were, making beats? Were you trying to evoke something?
Of course. Like the music all on its own, like I'm saying, it's something selling what I really, really love. Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't like certain type of music. Like rap music, if the music it's good enough, I love it. I don't care if it's a rap song. Traditional, I don't care. If it's good, it's good,
It's
and
good,
I love it. Okay? But yes, ultimately you are making music to change lives. To heal. Like I'll give you an example how it feels. Like Yara William, dog.
Yes.
Like I the impact that song has on a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Man. Even
Every day, dog, I get the inbox or the call about that song or the fan. This song is just
like, did you put everything together in that song? Like,
okay, what we did is that Kirkulit Vestaha William Gohonna, and then we recorded Day to Say Kuko Viso. And then we got the separates from there. We got the separates from there, and then we gave Vakas on Rah Mixer. And then I think after 2 days we met with her somewhere around Boriva Motusa. And then she gave a bit of at this it's a river all that. And then from there we rocked.
Did you make the beat before knowing and understanding the concept? Or after?
Yeah, William Hankyata go Nantara on this type of beat. He comes, he listens, he likes, he chooses, he goes, he writes, he comes.
Records,
So it was one of those. It was never a song that we sat down or did this type of song. So yeah, I do music because of how it changes people's lives. If it makes you feel good, let's go. If it heals the wounds that you have, let's go. If it brings the gangster, the gassy in you, and you feel good about it, 3-star by OZF Teddy, let's go.
Let's go,
You understand
yeah.
what I'm saying? Hey, if you feel like Big Man or Scar, let's go.
Let's go, Big Man.
So for me,
what
it's
you're
about,
saying is there's no emotion you can't hit when it comes to beats.
So it's all about emotions because you can't like this song if your emotions are not invested in it.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the type of emotions at that point.
Cool.
So I do music to touch lives, basically.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like in conclusion, dog, we're gonna play this game, man.
Yeah.
Okay, is it really a game or is this? Kind of a game, right?
Yeah.
So the instructions are: so you're given the opportunity, of course, you're given the opportunity to produce a soundtrack that would represent Botswana on a world stage, right? So this song has 3 verses and a chorus. Now, on the first verse, you have three choices. You either put Baxin.
But those songs can produce and then what happens?
In 3 verses. And in each verse, you are given choices.
This is like a
there's
song.
something you said, content that I missed. Something like
it would represent Botswana on a world stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's say like a World Cup soundtrack. I want to know go World Cup, right? And then you are given 3 options on the first verse. First verse, Bexi, no.
Okay.
OZFT and Balatlapa Blanco.
You can't plead the fifth, dog.
No, I see.
It's do or die.
I see where this is going. Okay.
Hey, no, first verse.
So verse, Bexen, Ozzy, Balaclava Blanco.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who are you going with on the first verse?
I go verse 2. What happens? Go verse 2. I need to know.
Yeah.
Second verse, there's Scar and Cast.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last verse, Ab the Activist, Current, dintshang on the track. Yeah, that's the last verse. And then there's the chorus. Chorus again, it's either Viman PZ, Khoisan, or Hensi.
Okay, I similar like first verse. So first verse had the Bexen,
Ozzy, Balatlav.
Ozzy, 1.
Yeah, first
Second verse,
yeah.
Kemangana, Kestele,
Scar, yeah.
Scar.
Okay. Chorus, Viman PZ, Khoisan, Hensi.
Hensi.
Dope.
Dintshang on the track was somewhere there, ne?
Dintshang on the track is in the last verse.
Yeah, Dintshang on the track is
so,
on the last verse.
So the last verse, the activist, current Dintshang on the track.
Dintshang on the track.
Dintshang on the track.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick. Straight to the point. You didn't even think about it.
You know what? As a producer, on a situation like this, you already have the vision of the type of song you want to create.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know the type of people who would be ideal for that particular situation.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh yes.
Manega, thank you for coming through, man. Thank you for coming through, man. This has been a good chat.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe in the future we'll come sit here again and talk about what's happened between now and whatever time we're going to talk again, man. Thank you for coming through, and it's been dope hearing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your story, and see you at the top, man.
Let's go, gents. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, man.
Sensational.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Before we cut the cameras, though, like, do you have one last thing that you would like? You have the platform to yourself. Anything that you would want to say now? Anything? A statement?
I'm never good.
A leak or something.
A leak?
Like you working on something like.
I'm working on a lot of stuff, dog. I'm working on album William. Yo, it's going to be crazy. I wish I could tell you. The title of the project, the Helagali Source. So I wish I could say because I'll be giving it away. So I'm working on a major project that William. Me and Scar, we are working on Cabrone San 2.
Yeah. Nah, I think
I'm working on my own project that's gonna drop next year, featuring various artists. I have a collaborative project I'm doing with MB on the beat. It's a producer and a producer collab.
For sure.
What else? I have a collaborative EP that's going to drop next year. William. I'm doing a collaborative project in the Touch. It's called Fella, the EP. It's crazy. Like I can tell you this. My project is going to drop next year. I have no idea what how I'm going to tackle it, but I can tell you there's one song in there, it has 11 rappers. One song.
What?
One song. So with that album, I can make a fully blown concert. Last cheeky. So
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
One
stuff.
track, 11
I can't.
artists.
How drop out?
Let's go.
You're coming here for sure.
Yeah.
My nigga fella, thank you for coming through, man. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing. We love you. You know. I don't think there's anybody. Like in terms of production, I don't think there's anybody working as hard as you do, man.
Yeah.
So like priding yourself and calling yourself priding yourself in being the hardest working is
It's evident.
Like it's evident, man.
Yeah.
So like keep going and like again, we have you at our hearts.
yes, sir. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much for coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the As of Brendan podcast featuring Fela, my co-host Vivi. We got Tabs on the backside. We got Cabo on the backside, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode. Like, subscribe, comment, engage with us. Download the episodes in our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the platforms. We wavy as shit. My niggas, before you do any of that bullshit, before you do any of that fancy bullshit, don't forget to give thanks, get fresh, praise the Lord. Then, finesse.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, we done.
Yes, Liddy right now. The gang gon' get it right now. I'm the man in Gap City right now. So you can't do what I done. So tell me what it is right now.